unlocked and into the dark. Some things are better left unknown. And I'll never find you here, 'cause no one's ever Oh, what a widow, a peaceful spider. When the glass is clean, she's a sneaky hider. Hide the lies and the alibis. Oh, what a sinner. Is it in her? What's the truth in this riddle? Is love really just this simple? I can't seem to find my way in this world that never stays. What a widow, a peaceful spider. When the glass is clean, she's a sneaky hider. Hide the lies and the alibis. What a sinner. Is it in her? Is this real? Just illusion? I'm lost in a wonderland of confusion. I'm lost in a wonderland of confusion. Is this real or just illusion? Manifestation or a dark delusion? Is this real or just illusion? I'm lost in a wonderland of confusion.
Ripon Rabbit Hole is a community-driven radio. At times the community comments may reveal prejudices and other beliefs that we or our sponsors do not condone. Views or opinions expressed by the community, callers, or guests, are those of the individual speaking and do not represent the views or opinions of this site. Ripon Common Sense content is intended for mature audiences only. Enjoy.
Hello. Hello. This is My Life DIY, and
hi, this is JoJo.
Hi, my name is Ash.
Hey everybody, it's AJ the Ripon Rabbit.
This is Cynthia Sue Larson.
This is your man Meta, aka Propagate This Light.
And you're now listening
to Dark Wolf's Den.
The Dark Wolf's Den Show on Ripon Common Sense Radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Are ghosts real?
We had 1,000 hours of continuous communication with the spirit world.
Does time travel actually exist?
The laws of physics seem to be compatible with time machines.
You know, sometimes I wonder about reincarnation. Don't you?
A 4-year-old boy in Adelaide, Australia, has told his parents that he used to be Britain's Princess Diana.
What would happen if the world found out that aliens were real?
I didn't say disclosure would be easy, but what is the alternative?
To establish a space force as the 6th branch of the armed forces.
We have so many questions and yet so little time, so to have you here, the pleasure is all mine.
Coming to you from a secret mountain cave, hidden deep within the Idaho wilderness. This is the Dark Wolf's Den Show. Now, here is your host, Jerry Hicks.
That's right, I am Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf, and we are broadcasting live across the multiverse from a secret cave, hidden high up in the beautifully snow-covered peaks of the Idaho mountains. That's right. We're ripping through the electromagnetic soup, tearing through the atmosphere, and tunneling away into your radio like a quantum particle. This is the Dark Wolf's Den Show for Thursday, May 27th, 2021. So whether you're on the edge of reality, the edge of the galaxy, or the edge of your seat, we're glad you chose us to be right there with you. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue to go through the secret K.G.B Book of Alien Races, and we're going to pick up where we left off after the reptilians last night. If you're just joining us for this series, make sure you go back and check out the first 2 episodes. We've covered a whole lot already, and we're going to continue to cover a large variety of them tonight. But first, today in history. On this day in 1941, the German battleship the Bismarck was sunk by British naval forces. If anybody's ever heard the song Sink the Bismarck by Johnny Horton, it is the story of this incident, ladies and gentlemen, and that happened on this day in 1941. And that is today's Today in History. Incredible Today in History. I do love that song. It shows my age maybe, but it came out years before I was even born. I just happen to really like that song. Speaking of liking things, I really like our quote of the day also from Arthur C. Clarke, the sci-fi author, an amazing sci-fi author, may I add. He says here, "I'm sure the universe is full of intelligent life. It just has been too intelligent to come here," end quote. And there are those that would, of course, beg to differ with that, right? According to this book that we've been reviewing for the last couple episodes, there have been quite a few that have come here. A whole book full of them, as a matter of fact. And we left off last night. We covered the Anunnaki before the break on last night's show, and then after the break at the end of the show we covered the reptilians. So 2 of the bigger races already out of the picture, and we're going to pick up after the reptilians, ladies and gentlemen, with what's called the Alkobata. The Alkobata. Presumably they have over 5,000 ships and have colonized over 100 planets of their own. Considered by other alien races as a parasite species, they abduct humans and are frequently and ongoing with their human abductions. The purpose of these are unknown. They do not like to interact with other alien races. They come from the constellation Perseus and are extremely aggressive. Suspected to have been involved in several airline crashes, such as Flight 007 of the USSR in 1983. The USSR leadership took blame for that crash, last seen September 2001 in Canada. So I got a comment on my video from yesterday over in the Dark Wolf's Den show, once I put it up last night, and they suggested that all the aliens, they're just demons and everything's, not as it seems. I'm not going to say that isn't the case. I can't say either way. And I only present this information to you guys as that for your information. I'm not saying I believe one way or the other on any one of these races or any of them at all. I'm just explaining to you what is in this book. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind as we go forward. And going forward, we have the Nigamok, a.k.a. the Gunamopo, or the Namopo. First known visit to Earth happened only in 1989. They abduct humans and exercise control over the minds of their captives, which they use for their own benefit after the captives' release. Reason unknown. This race was the inspiration for the alien race in the movie Independence Day. Side note of Petro and me, the ARB, Alien Races book, states the same thing about another race also, that they were the inspiration for the movie Independence Day. So do keep that in mind. That note aside, they are one of the oldest races. They are one of the races that most human governments fear when considering the future of humans. So they don't sound like they're our friends by any means. And now we've come to another big, well-known species, ladies and gentlemen, the Zeta Reticuli. Of course, we hear about this a lot with the Betty and Barney Hill case, a.k.a. Shambhala. That's right, these guys are apparently named Shambhala, also known as Zeta Reticuli, of course, often confused because of their appearance with the races Matri and Calypsi, the Greys. They come from the constellation Nets. They are allies of the Anunnaki and cooperate with them in different planets. They are representatives of the Anunnaki on Earth and send them information about humans and this planet at least 25 times a year. The Anunnaki created a subspecies of the Zeta with the purpose of making them look more human-like, but leaving enough physical differences for humans to distinguish them. They became some of the pharaohs of Egypt. The most well-known was Akhenaten, who was removed from power by reptilians. They infiltrated themselves in the court as temple priests. First, and we heard about this last night too. First reports of Zetas on Earth go back to 4000 AD, but that number is most likely much higher. They were the first hybrids to be engineered by the Anunnaki. The Zeta subspecies still exist on Earth and still, at least 30%, present the same physical differences created in them. The sexual organs of these subspecies are in every aspect the same as that of humans. Now, that's interesting that they would have the same reproductive organs as us. The Zetas still exist on Earth in both forms, the original and the hybrid subspecies. Their location on Earth is unknown. So it's suggested that the large skulls, or the elongated skulls we found like in Peru, could be these Zeta Reticuli of which they speak. The next on our list we have the Therese. Their origin is unknown. They are often seen near or flying by volcanoes, identified due to the exquisite nature of their ships. They have never contacted humans, and there are no reports of violence or abductions. Even though they are discreet, their presence on Earth is frequent, and they do not try to hide from view. There are several contradictory reports about their appearance, last sighted off the coast of Norway in 2000. And, some of these words, I gotta admit, even trying to say them is a challenge for me, and I'm really good at these kind of words. But I heard somebody say to me last night that a lot of this sounds like gibberish and nonsense. I'm not going to disagree. Trying to read this stuff feels like trying to pronounce gibberish and nonsense sometimes, right? But do you expect aliens to have names like Fred and George, right? I mean, this is aliens we're talking about. I'm sure they would have many different names they would go by depending where they're from, regardless of what we call them, right? Like the Pratav Ilumu. Yeah, that's really what it says, Ilumu, whatever, aka Nosyv 7, NOSYV-7. Their origin is unknown. They are often sighted in the northwest of the USA, especially in the Oregon area. Looking at you over there, Oregonians. They have a special interest about Earth's oceans and are known to have underwater ships, aka the USOs, which we have also covered here on this show. In the 1980s and the 1990s, they almost crashed a few times against U.S. Navy ships while Americans were testing new sonar and radar systems. They are peaceful and mostly nocturnal. Last sighted in the year 2000 near San Francisco in the USA. Next up, we have the X-1Z, aka X. Only sighted 2 times on Earth. According to reports from other races, they are able to shapeshift as many as 4 times in 10 seconds. Their origin is unknown. They conduct human abductions and perform medical experiments on the subjects. They have been visiting Earth since the mid-1550s. The only 2 confirmed sightings happened near Elazig, Turkey. And Turkey's always been an intriguing place, right? There's a lot of interesting lore and archaeology that comes out of Turkey. Archaeology that to this day they're having a problem hiding from the world, right? The Caraveldi is the next one in the book, known to be, at times, extremely dangerous to humans as well as to other aliens. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, once you get done with these series, you also will be a xenobiologist, right? Or at least a xenohistorian. You'll have a very strong knowledge of the alien races, like the Caraveldi. They come from the constellation Chameleon. I've never even heard of that constellation. What about you guys? They've been permanently involved in conflicts with a few other races for over 500 Earth years. They are rarely seen on Earth and live up to 150 years old. Reportedly, they are 3 meters, 9 feet tall, and have 4 arms. That'd be a little bit harder to hide, wouldn't it? Last sighting was near New Orleans, USA in 1976. And then on the next page, we have the ELFAF. ELFFAF. A lot of F's in there. What a failure. I'm kidding. They come from the constellation Boots, or Booties, near Achelous Primus. I have heard of the Boots constellation. They also resemble the Greys, but are not related. This race has 4 different genders, and they are known to be benevolent. Thank goodness. The purpose of their visits is unknown, but they seem to have a special interest in raw materials or minerals, as they have been often sighted near old mines. Last sighting in San Isidro del El General, Costa Rica, in 2005. And then we have the Matrax. Not to be confused with the Matrix, right? The Matrax in the Matrix. There we go. The Matrax, despite their appearance, installs fear in humans when sighted. This race is not known to be aggressive. They can live up to 400 years and come from the constellation Delphinus near Solosen. Some of these words, yeah, I agree, guys. Feels like gibberish. They have been visiting Earth for at least 4,000 years, but were sighted quite often during the 19th century. They served as the inspiration for the alien race in the movie Independence Day. Again, we heard that about another alien race just a little bit ago. And there's even a side note in here that Petro and the author second mention about a race being used as inspiration for that same movie. But then again, who's to say they didn't take a multitude of races and just kind of smash them together to make the aliens in the Independence Day movie with Will Smith? This version of the aliens, the Matrax, last sighting happened near Marseille, France in 1996. And then we have the Tsar Three. Their origin is unknown, but there are reports stating that it takes them near 2 years, Earth years, to get to this planet. They are the survivors of an extinct reptoid race and do not possess the same level of technology or knowledge as other races visiting Earth. They do have some human characteristics, such as skin. In 1977 or 1978 near Siena, Italy, 2 of their species were captured after landing behind a church in ruins. 3 days later, they were transferred to a USA Air Base, still in Italy, and finally taken to an undisclosed location where, supposedly, they still remain. Contacts have mentioned somewhere in the South Pacific or in another USA base near Japan. The USSR APIS, wow, these words will get you in trouble, right? The APIS-3 was able to get a hold of one video recording of this species, and they were last sighted January 3rd, 2001, near Victoria, Canada. There we go, Canadians there, guys. Next up, we have the Alina, a.k.a. the Elves. Supposedly, this is the race that started the myth of elves. They are sighted often in Germanic countries deep in the forest. They are not known to be lethal to humans. However, they are known as being pranksters. It seems that they enjoy scaring humans when these get too close. It has been reported that they have lured humans away from their cars in order to steal their possessions. And once the humans are far away from their vehicles and they have already stolen what they wanted, they frighten them, which makes the humans leave the location, which is pretty slick if you ask me, I gotta say. Last sighting near Munich, Germany in December 2004. And we're going to close out this half of the episode with the Council of Five. So, what is the Council of Five? Let's get to the actual words here. The Matri have been involved in several tragedies throughout human history. Some of the worst plagues were inflicted by them with the knowledge and agreement of the reptilians, who want the human population to never go over 8 billion. The reptilians have abducted female humans for thousands of years. Most of their hybrid offspring are sent away to other planets that they have colonized. Some stay on Earth where they become powerful members, infiltrating society. Mars and the Moon have been overmined and explored for the past 33,000 years, according to this book. The races that do it are going deeper and deeper inside the planet to reach the raw materials they want. Abandoned surface structures can be seen everywhere. All human religions have been created by alien races that want to keep humans divided and the truth about creation in secret. They roam the corridors of religious power as members of pseudo-religious spiritual human organizations, such as the Masons. Most members of the Masons are clueless about the true intentions of a few. So let's keep that in mind, guys. Most of the Masons don't know what is actually going on at the very deep, dark top echelon of the pyramid, right? The regular you and me Joes, if we were to sign up for the Masons, we wouldn't find all the deep, dark secrets that they know at the top. Since the formation of the USSR, its leaders were extremely interested about all the information they could get on aliens. They knew of their existence and visits and wanted to gain their knowledge, little knowing that the death of Russia's Tsar Nicholas II had been planned by aliens and that their own circles of power had already been infiltrated. Several secret missions were deployed by Stalin to South and Central America after 2 generals found a book that belonged to Tsar Nicholas II's wife, Tsarina Alexandra, and Grigory Rasputin, that had a map showing the location of alien bases. That map was later used in the school system minus the base's locations. Interesting, isn't it? Very little is known about the 5 alien races that are part of the Council of Five. I don't know why it just jumped through that little bit of information there. That's kind of a weird place to put that in a book. But anyway, the races that are part of this council, previously known as the Council of Nine, have been protecting Earth and the humans for as long as there are aliens' records of it. Some say that they have been protecting the planet even before humans existed for millions of years. An alien race reported that the Council of Five last met on Earth in 1944. Note of Petro and the author. We found a hard-written note on the ARB dated July 2005 stating that the Council of Five is going to meet on Earth during the last 10 days of August of 2013. The same note also mentioned the fact that the presence and arrival of those 5 races could cause cosmic events that can affect Earth's atmosphere. And it also said that humans would be seeing an increase of alien ship activity during that period. Continuation of note. The note also states that the meeting of the Council is to discuss possible threats to Earth and humans, as well as the fact that so many new alien races have been visiting Earth lately. By lately, the note states that that means to the 5 for past 500 years. According to the several alien races, the Council of Five, and the same Council of Nine, has monitored human evolution since primordial times, since humans were only one-cell marine organisms, and throughout all of natural evolution, when humans became primate-like creatures, and beyond, after the Anunnaki, aka interference. According to those same alien races, all evolutionary sequences and all planets have a beginning and an end, with the exception of minor details due mostly to radical weather changes. After the Anunnaki tampered with the DNA of primates and created humans, the Council of Five decided to not only monitor but also protect us, as they realized that one day humans would be able to join other alien races in development and enlightenment. The Philadelphia experiment of 1943 did happen and was successful. After the third attempt, further attempts failed. And I don't know why it's jumped into this, and we'll get back to the Council in just a moment. Contrary to belief, the experiment resulted from Albert Einstein's discovery of a manuscript, along with one metallic object, found in a cave system and brought to Spain by Columbus on his last voyage. The manuscript found by Columbus contained extremely technologically advanced schematic drawings and information, and it was used to develop the unified field theory by Einstein, where he described mathematically and physically the interrelated nature of the forces that comprise electromagnetic radiation and gravity. Einstein had Illuminati connections, which I hate to hear because I liked Einstein. Darn it. The Council of Five is composed of the following races: the Arila, the Egorot, let's get to the next page here, the Redan, the, if I can get my scroller to work, the Ginvo, and that's all the ones that it lists. So those are the Council of Five, even though I only counted 4. Apparently one of them is unlisted here, but let's actually look through the information and see what it says here. So we get another one of these weird page jumps back to the other information. In 1933, near Vergate, Italy, an alien ship belonging to the race Kalinia crashed, killing all of its occupants. Inside, many ancient Italian artifacts were found, and alien ones. Benito Mussolini created a secret group to look at that incident and any other future ones related to alien races. That group still exists and is called GIO-1. All the artifacts found on the wreck were put on a museum and passed as if found at an archaeological excavation. In 1950, another ship crashed at the same location. During the early 1950s, USA President D. Eisenhower and British PM Winston Churchill met several times to discuss the best ways to keep the alien presence on Earth away from the general public and prying eyes. Together they created a top-secret task force called SILK. This task force was so secretive that its leader was an Air Force general from English descent that belonged to the military of Uruguay. Side by side with the general worked 2 USA and 2 English Secret Service agents. They were not allowed to write anything they investigated. All events and investigative processes were only reported face-to-face to both Churchill and or Eisenhower. And that's all we got time for in this half, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to continue this rabbit hole right after these messages. So you sit right there and we'll be right back. Don't you touch that dial. That's right.
We gotta stoke the fires and run off the men in black. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
How a Thursday night here with Jerry Hicks and the Dark Wolf's Den Show. If you're enjoying the show and you haven't done so already, please make sure to thumb up that video, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell. You'll get our notifications every time we go live. We're here every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, bringing you the very best of common sense radio, the Ripon Rabbit Hole. Hi everyone, it's AJ, the Ripon Rabbit. I'm looking forward to continuing the weekend on with you, starting Friday night. I can't wait till we connect again down another rabbit hole, exploring together garage sales. That'll be a lot of fun. Come along down the rabbit hole of garage sales with me. Friday, May 28th, starts at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, as all shows do. Then Saturday, May 29th, special breaking report on UFOs. That's right, explore the latest UFO reports and upcoming disclosure information for the month of June. You won't want to miss Saturday, May 29th. UFO reports. It's going to be a lot of interesting information. Then Sunday, May 30th, we'll end out the weekend right together with a look at magnetism. Sunday, May 23rd. Let's have some fun with magnets. Make sure that on Sunday night that you have a magnet close to you, so we can have some fun with it. We're going to do some on-air experiments. It's going to be a lot of fun. And as we end out the weekend right together on Sunday, we head into a new month. Tuesday night videos premieres June 1st on Tuesday night. Join Champion Sports Nation Backstage Tuesday, June 1st, starts at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, as Tuesday night videos will be presenting summer blockbusters. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. They're going to explore the music from some of the biggest summer movies of all time, including movie trivia for music and movies. I'm looking forward to kicking off the new month, as next weekend the Fantastic Fun Show returns. Will Juanito 1975 stay seated on the throne, or perhaps will you knock him down and take the crown? All of the excitement begins next weekend. Can you believe it? It's the first of the month. Oh my goodness. We'll return back to Jerry Hicks and the Dark Wolf's Den with K.G.B Book of Alien Races Part 3 as the series continues. Thursday, May 27th, 2021. You're listening to the Ripon Common Sense Radio Network, the RiponRabbitHole.com.
This is My Life DIY, and
Hi, this is JoJo.
Hi, my name is Ash.
Hey everybody, it's AJ the Ripon Rabbit.
This is Cynthia Sue Larson.
This is your man Meta, aka Propagate This Light.
And you're now listening
to Dark Wolf's Den.
The Dark Wolf's Den Show on Ripon Common Sense Radio.
If you were meant to be controlled, you would have come with a remote, but you didn't. And that's why you listen to the Dark Wolf's Den Show. Now, here is your host, Jerry Hicks.
That's right, I am Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf. And welcome back to the second half of the Dark Wolf's Den Show for Thursday, May 27th, 2021. So whether you're on the edge of reality, the edge of the galaxy, or the edge of your seat, we're glad you chose us to be right there with you. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, we have been going through the secret K.G.B book of alien races for the last couple of episodes, and this is no different. Shout out to C.J. Henderson. I know you listen to every one of my shows. I really appreciate it. I know that because you comment on every last one of them, and that is so very appreciated over the Dark Wolf's Den Show YouTube channel. They left a comment earlier today, said, how many races are in the book? That is a good question. I wish I had a better answer, but that is a good question. I was actually looking ahead in the book just a little bit. This stuff is very, very scattered information, so bear with me if it seems like we're jumping information or jumping topics. I'm just going along the book. This is the way the book's laid out. So if you're interested in getting a copy yourself, all I did was go on YouTube. Go on Google, or DuckDuckGo is the one I prefer, to be honest with you. And type in the secret K.G.B book of alien races PDF file, and you'll be able to get your own copy too. You can follow along at home. And speaking of following along at home, we are on the next page of the book, which actually is interesting. It has a couple different German woodcuts. Of course, you guys have heard me talk about the German woodcut of the 1800s. It says from 700 AD to the 19th century AD, over 50 battles between alien races were fought on Earth's skies and witnessed by thousands of people. Many artists painted and carved these events, but the Catholic Church searched, found, and destroyed most of them. In the 20th century, only less than 10 are available. It has a quote here. It says, as long as there are stars, there will be war. This comes from the race Matrax, apparently. Remember, those are the really bad guys. August 1608, from Marseille and Nice, France, all the way to Genova, Italy, alien ships stop by the seashore, and crew members work on the vehicles openly for everyone to see. This painting shows 3 alien ships in Nice. So there is a painting here. It looks like a dock and a bunch of cannons. It looks like a bunch of round things kind of hovering over the water, but it's interesting that it's in a painting, you know what I mean? No, this is an original illustration. In the 1970s, a magazine purposely improved its quality in order to make it look contemporary and be able to debunk the event. Real witness of the event wrote the next day, the inhabitants saw 3 strange luminous vessels which evolved at high speed above the city. The 3 machines stopped near the forest and went down above the waters, where they caused the water to boil and emit a red-orange vapor. To the great stupor of the numerous witnesses, 2 humanoid beings with large heads and large luminous eyes, dressed in a red suit with silver scales, connected to the flying machine by tubes, engaged themselves in several hours of strange work. This is the original report of the... I cannot get the scroller to work right. From the alien event of August 1608 in Marseille, Nice, and Genova. During your investigation in our territories or abroad, you will often find misleading and or falsified information concerning sightings and or alien contact. This misleading and or falsified information will concern mainly dates, places, witnesses, time, and weather conditions at the time of the event. So basically, all of the important information. This pattern of deception is common and has been practiced for centuries either by religious organizations, secret sects, private-owned media, and infiltrated human governments. And we know our media is definitely a private-owned media. And now we've jumped back to the Council of Five. It's composed of the following races. Emerther. It is generally agreed that the Emether, okay, give me a minute, guys. These are some weird words. Emether, Emether, is the most important race, not only of the Council, but also amongst all known races. They are related to the Slipsy Rye, the Greys, but much older and advanced in all levels. They were one of the founder races of the council. They met with USA President D. Eisenhower on 3 different occasions. They also met with 2 high-ranking USSR leaders in 3 different occasions. And they do not force anything upon humans, to meet with USA President R. Nixon, but he refused, claiming that it would be too dangerous, as they could maybe read his mind and find out delicate national security secrets concerning the relations with the USSR. Which, I give it to him. That's a valid argument. Let's see here. Get to the next page that actually has information on it. There's a lot of pictures in this book if you're interested. I don't have pictures on the radio, of course. This is radio. But if you're interested, go check out that PDF, like I said earlier. There are a whole lot of pictures in here. See, in 2003, China National Space Agency received the reply from Pioneer plaques sent in 1972 and 73 aboard the Pioneer 10 and 11. Despite many requests and offers from the USA, the EU, Australia, and Russia for China to share the information on the reply, the Chinese have not done so yet. And of course, I don't think anybody here would be surprised that the Chinese are holding information. In 1985, 3 alien races delivered documents and video to the UN Secretary General Javier Perez de Solar, showing evidence of several planets within Earth's solar system that had a daily average temperature of 32 degrees Celsius, 89.6 degrees Fahrenheit, and oceans. So that's interesting. They showed some video of their home planet, I guess. Case 737, Lafia, Nigeria. In August 21st, 1957, a Caucasoid woman was found near Lafia. She was not dressed matching the area nor the time period. She was taken to the local Dutch landowner and interrogated. Reports say that she claimed to be the Captain Benjamin Briggs' wife, Sarah. Captain Benjamin Briggs was the captain of the Mary Celeste, a British-American merchant ship that was discovered on December 4th, 1872 in the Atlantic Ocean, unmanned and apparently abandoned. She committed suicide that same night. Recovered alien ships in a base near Kasputin Yar. 3 seemed abandoned. 2 were the result of crashes. Now, that is interesting. A lot of them seem to crash here, huh? They fly all that way just to crash here, which there's actually a good reason behind that. If you get to a planet and you're not used to the tech they're using, your ship might malfunction too. The following are prints that were stolen from Sweden. So these are basically hand-drawn prints. Not a whole lot that I could describe from these. These are different UFO designs. Looks like they're trying to break down inside of the craft. It's a lot of blueprint technical looking stuff. We know that there are at least 2,500 alien races. That number is likely to be much higher. One race, a crew member of the Matrax ship that crashed near Yekaterinburg near Sverdlovsky, said that there are a few races that do not come to Earth because they know that the reptilians and the Matrax are here. Some of those races that avoid Earth are as violent, if not more, as the Matrax. Others are peaceful. So having the reptilians and the Matrax on Earth is not always a bad thing. It keeps even worse races away. Kind of reminds me of that snake that eats rodents, so you leave the snake around, or spider that eats the bugs, so you let the spider stay in the corner, right? Kind of that little deal, the lesser of two evils. The balance is found by having the Council of Five protecting us. The Matrax crew members said the following, quote, "There are many more races that would like to protect humans, but they're not willing to start a war against reptilians or Matrax over you," end quote. Which, I mean, yeah, I can't blame them. It'd be hard to go to war over another race who don't even know you exist to begin with, right? Apparently in the area of the Bermuda Triangle, there have been 2 permanent underwater bases for thousands of years. The first one was established by the Matrax, we talked about them earlier, around 3,000 years ago, while the second one has been there for over 6,000 years. Race unknown. Several other races have had bases there or near, but have abandoned them. Okay, and we still have a very limited knowledge of activities occurring in the Bermuda Triangle area. From alien reports, we do know that abductions do occur in the area. Experimentations with humans do occur in those bases. There are multi-dimensional space portal that goes to and from the triangle, not exactly inside the area known as the triangle. There is a race that is planning on building and creating a new base in the triangle in the year 2021. Rumors say it's the Gigantique. So let's keep an eye out, guys, for stuff going on in the Bermuda Triangle this year, right? It is not the most important underwater region on Earth to those alien races. It is not the most... Okay, I just want to make sure I read that right. It is not the most important to the alien races. Interesting. Okay. Got a lot of repeat information here, a lot of pictures. Here we go. Our agents estimate that near 65% of all aliens and UFO-related websites on the internet worldwide are government or government-linked, owned, and ran. In the case of USA-only websites, that number jumps to 83%, and in Europe to 70%. In the USA, 35% of those websites are ran by the NSA, 30% by the CIA, 15% by the military, 10% by APIS USA, 5% by the FBI, and the rest by unknown government agencies. In Russia, that number's around 33%. In China, it's around 95%. Japan is at 70%. Australia, 25%. India, 55%. And Brazil, 80%. And we know there's been a lot of stuff going on around Brazil and the South American areas. Note from author and Petro. The information above was added, handwritten, to the book in 2007. So the information I just went over was added in 2007. In the so-called Area 51, there are members, number unknown, of 4 different races forcibly cooperating with humans and reptilians. As far as we know, none of those members are either high-ranking or have a significant importance in the fields of expertise. The Matrian humans conduct security services and support the base 24/7. And we are almost out of time. We're going to go over just a little bit more here. There's more than one race conducting operations on the moon. So I know a lot of you are going to argue we never went to the moon, space is fake, we can't go to the moon, and that's fair, and that's your belief. But we're only going by what this book says, all right? That's what this show is about. There's more than one race conducting operations on the moon. The main race on the moon are the Indigluk, aka the Tall White. The Mythalae, at least one base surface on what we call the dark side of Earth's satellite. Many of the Indigo human abductees are there. They end up either as slaves for mining underground or as what they call Johns and Marys, but their official name is Students M. The Students M are abductees that reveal a higher level of intelligence and are willing participants or become that in their agenda and plans. And I'm assuming this is the kids. I've heard a lot of the stories of abductee of kids that have been abducted and brought to this place. They are thought to be on the moon and had different experiments run about their abilities to use telekinesis and things like that. It is estimated that 4 in each 10 abductees became Students M. The rest, 60%, become slaves. Some of those slaves go on to work on other planets. The Students M are training in whatever else and return to Earth to assume leadership roles in human society. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and leave it there and let you guys wait for next week for the conclusion, hopefully, of this series. We may not even make it all the way through next week, but we're going to do our best, right? On that note, ladies and gentlemen, all you can do is listen to the evidence, apply a little common sense, and you be the judge. We got to close it out. That's right, that's it for this episode of the Dark Wolf's Den Show for Thursday, May 27th, 2021. So whether you're on the edge of reality, the edge of the galaxy, or the edge of your seat, we're glad you chose us to be right there with you. The den may be closing, ladies and gentlemen, but don't you worry, the weekend fun has only just begun. That I definitely can assure you. Because on Friday, May 28th, 2021, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, right here on Ripon Common Sense Radio, our buddy AJ the Ripon Rabbit takes over with an all-new episode of the Ripon Rabbit Hole live show. That's right. And I happen to know that on Friday, he's going to be talking about garage sales. I love garage sales. Most of the stuff I had growing up came from garage sales. Can we even do that anymore? In this day and age, is that even allowed? Did that get canceled? God, I hope not. I love garage sales. Well, why don't we find out on Friday, May 28th, 2021, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, as AJ the Ripon Rabbit goes over that very topic. That's right. Then on Saturday, May 29th, 2021, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, AJ the Ripon Rabbit comes back to the airwaves again to discuss UFO reports and carry on this alien discussion that we've begun here, right? Man, that would be an interesting series, right? Maybe AJ will start that series. He's talking about starting a series. I don't even know what it is yet. But if you're interested in UFO reports, do check out the UFO report episode on Saturday, May 28, 2021, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, under RiponRabbitHole.com and Ripon Common Sense Radio, Ripon Rabbit Hole live show. That's right. Then on Sunday, May 30th, 2021, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, AJ the Ripon Rabbit closes out the weekend right with one more episode of the Ripon Rabbit Hole live show. On this episode, he's going to be talking about magnetism. Actually, that is something that I find incredibly fascinating. There's a guy named Cliff High I look into. He's actually got a couple patents on folded magnetic fields. They're doing a lot with these things, guys. It's the way of the future, and AJ is going to discuss it on Sunday, May 30th, 2021, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10/9 Central, right here on Ripon Common Sense Radio, the Ripon Rabbit Hole. Speaking of the Ripon Rabbit Hole, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hop on over to the Ripon Rabbit Hole. That is RIPONRABBITHOLE.com. Over there, you're going to sign up for that Backstage Pass. That's right. This is going to get you access to all the goodies of the site, like the Down the Rabbit Hole section, our exclusive social media section over there. Make sure you join the rabbits and see what kind of fun's going on down the rabbit hole. That's right. And then you can also drop into the 24/7 Backstage Lounge. That, of course, is my favorite place to hang out, as you guys know. If you'd like to hang out with me, just come on by. Sign up for that Backstage Pass and drop into the lounge and give us a hello and enjoy some of the conversation going on back there at any given time, right? There's a lot to choose from. Also, ladies and gentlemen, while you're on the RiponRabbitHole.com, make sure you check out our groups section. I have the Dark Wolf's Den Show group over there, as well as a number of other groups. The Ripon Rabbit Hole live show has his group over there, Mr. AJ, as well as the Lucid Dreaming group, of course, and pretty much any paranormal topic that you would like to discuss. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's all on the RiponRabbitHole.com. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jerry Hicks, and it is time for me to get out of here this weekend. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure hanging out with you guys and going through this series, and I cannot wait to pick it up next weekend. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your weekend with Mr. AJ the Ripon Rabbit, because you're in darn good hands. Also, if you haven't already, go over to the Ripon Rabbit Hole YouTube channel. Again, that's RiponRabbitHole.com, or YouTube. And make sure you sign up and subscribe over there. That's where we are live every week before we put it back up on the Dark Wolf's Den Show channel. So if you haven't already, go over there and subscribe. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf. And on behalf of AJ the Ripon Rabbit, Chick Mandela Effect, Michael Musco, Tom Bayless of Red Shed Studios. Get it, Tom? That's right, buddy. On behalf of all these folks, ladies and gentlemen, as well as our amazing mod team and everybody involved in Ripon Common Sense Radio, we thank you for being here. And remember, until next time, stay awake, but dare to dream. That's right. Good night, everybody. Tom Bayless, get down with it, buddy. That's the Dark Wolf theme right there, guys. We need some words to this, right? It's the Dark Wolf. Wolf's Den. I don't know, I'm just being goofy now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need custom music for your next soundtrack or production, make sure you check out Tom Bayless in Red Shed Studios. All right, Tom, cut it. We got to go. We're out of here. Time's about to end. We're about to get cut off. My name is Jerry Hicks, also known as the Dark Wolf. Good night, everybody. Howl.
I'm lost and into the dark. Some things are better left unknown. And I'll never find you here, 'cause no one's ever is clean, she's a sneaky hider. Hide the lies and the alibis. Oh, what a sinner is it in her? What's the truth in this riddle? Is love really just this simple? I can't seem to find my way in this world that never stays. What a widow, a peaceful spider. When the glass is clean, she's a sneaky hider. Hide the lies and the alibis. What a sinner is it in her? Is this real? Just illusion? I'm lost in wonderland of confusion. I'm lost in wonderland of confusion. Is this real or just illusion? Manifestation or a dark delusion? Is this real or just illusion?